don't know me, my name's Caitlin Bird. I'm 20 years old and I'm out in Michigan, and I've been in IML for about 15 months. And when I started building, it was because, I found purpose in helping other people achieve goals, and like that feel good that you get from helping other people. And the cool thing is, guys, we're not just helping other people. Like, we're giving them time freedom, and financial freedom. You know what I mean? Those are two things that most people nowadays don't have. So with that being said, Abby is going to go over how to properly launch your customers and how to ensure that they have success. This is something that I'm going to learn a lot from. I hope you guys are going to be taking notes, because I definitely
am. Heck yes, dude. I remember being, Danielle was on this call, I think, but I remember being there with Danielle and some of her squad in London live when Austin Godsey, Chairman 100, did that segment at the event. Guys, I was crying. That was one of the most memorable, incredible experiences I've ever had. Like, just being there live. I mean, you already know how hype Austin Godsey is, but being there in person, totally different level. So guys, tonight I appreciate everybody on this call. Caitlin, thank you so much for introducing. I'm going to go ahead and get right into this. So guys, the call tonight, the topic tonight is to help every single one of you, whether you're building, whether you're trying to get your tune free. You have to understand how significant this is, because when you make the decision to build, it's a responsibility. Okay, it's about impacting other people's lives. When you make a decision to want to get your tune free, you still have to understand you're helping that next 1 to 2 individuals have success within this, okay? And it's you're not responsible for their success, but you're responsible for ensuring they have the right information, okay? It's up to them to definitely use that information to change their situation. So guys, what I'm going to talk about tonight is really how to effectively and efficiently launch new customers, new people into this, because I'm going to ask you guys a couple questions, okay? Anybody on here ever D-rank? I have. Anybody ever on here have their volume drop? Yup. Anyone ever have someone sign up and then leave after 30 days? After 7 days? Yup, 1,000%. Anyone ever pour their heart and soul into someone and they completely fall off the face of the earth? Yup. Anyone ever get so close to the next rank and then lose it all? Yup. Okay, it happens, guys. It happens. It's real shit. It's real. But I don't want you guys to be stressed about it. I want this to be a fun experience, because, guys, everybody on this call has a big-ass smile on their face. I'm trying to get into more of a better habit of keeping a smile on my face and understanding that this is about having fun and impacting people, okay? I said this on the call yesterday. It's the feeling that you can give to somebody else at the end of the day. Okay, it's the feeling, because guys, I say this story all the time, but it's so powerful and it's so true. When I hit P600, it was not like, yes, I needed the money, guys, you have no idea, but it wasn't about the money in the moment. It was the fact that I did not believe that I could do that, okay? It was the fact that I did not believe that I could do that, and when I did it, I completely collapsed on the floor, crying hysterically, because I did something I never believed that I could do. That feeling is empowering. And that's a feeling that I want every single individual on this call to experience for themselves. It's that feeling of significance, of appreciation, of the fact that I can do something when everything around me, my environment, the people, whatever, were telling me that I couldn't. They doubted me, right? And I want everybody to experience that feeling. So something that I want to go over, those questions that I just kind of went through, I've experienced them all. It's normal. I had a meetup with Matt Rosa, Chairman 500, about a week ago, and we discussed this in depth, okay, about how that's normal. Your volume's going to fluctuate. Guys, my volume moves on a daily basis, okay, on a daily basis, and it's okay. It's okay. It happens, but your volume is only a byproduct of how you're doing business, okay? Please remember that. So don't focus so much on the numbers. Like, yes, we want to keep inventory. That's another thing I'm going to say really quick. If you guys are not keeping inventory on your business, you're not going to hit chairman, okay? This call is for those that want to not only go chairman, not only build this business, but also who want to get their tune free. So just take everything I'm saying as a grain of salt, whatever you want to call it. So I want to talk about a couple things, because understanding that when your volume moves, it's just a byproduct of how you're building the business, okay? And I created, based off of what Matt Rosa talked about with us out here in Arizona and with me on an individual basis, I created a customer launch, basically a template of what to do, okay, not only within your first 24 hours, but your first 30, 60, 90 days and beyond. And how significant this is if you want to have people have a successful experience, if you want to not just, plateau at P6, P1000, but actually get to those next levels. Okay, so something that I want to go over with you guys, chat is fired up right now. So something that I want to actually, I'm going to share my screen. I think that'd be easier. And if anybody wants this guide, this template, guys, the other thing that Matt Rosa said too, he doesn't like to give out information to just anybody. He wants to give out information to those that are loyal. So if you direct message me that you want anything that I have, or you want my time, whatever it may be, direct message me. Okay, don't just assume I'm going to send it to you. Take the time to message me back. Like, I have to message Matt if I want time with him. Okay, I have to actually verbally speak to him, say, Matt, do you have time this week to hop on a call with me, to meet up with me? Okay, take the time to do that, because then he knows that you're serious. So the first couple things I want to talk to you guys about, and if you have not gone through this for yourself, go through it. I've already gone through this. I've experienced it for my own self. So I know exactly how to do this when I hop on calls. So it's kind of tedious, guys, but we want to make sure that we can do this. And I have everything written down right here for you to go through. I actually practiced doing it with Alex the other day to make sure that I know how to do it. So customer launch, this first part is what to do within your first 24 hours with that new person, okay? Obviously, you're going to send them the sign-up link. Have them get started, right? Send them the welcome guide. If you guys do not have the welcome guide, please message me and I'll send it to you. I revamped it. It's new within the last 24 hours, okay? It's a 24-hour checklist. Ensure that they are in all the chats. Basically, if you have your own, separate group chats for your squad, make sure that they're in there. But most importantly, make sure they're in the Telegram updates chat. That's where they're going to get all the notifications right off the bat, as well as being able to see the services in action. Like right now after this call, I'm about to take a picture. Chris Terry just dropped a new daily swing trade video. I'm about to post that and put it in the chat. Everybody needs to be notified that there's a new swing trade video. And especially people that, maybe aren't active within the last 30 days or less. Be like, damn, like guys, I caught a trade off of what he posted last week off of Euro USD. Okay. How many of you guys have made money off of what he's posted? Bitcoin. Okay. I've made money off of what he's posted on those videos. They're so important that you guys pay attention to those. So anyways, I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Make sure that they are in those chats, as well as the KISS chat, because it's a community group. Make sure that you put them in a group chat with your personal sponsor. Guys, I see this time and time again, and I've asked people to do this over and over. We can't have, conversations in the chat. I've seen it multiple times. If you're in the KISS chat, if you're in the Telegram chat, those chats are not to have like conversations of your own. If you have specific questions, those are for a group chat with, say, for example, Rachel, you brought somebody on. You would put that person in a group chat with me, for example, because I'm your personal sponsor, right? So for example, somebody else on here, Hugo, if you bring somebody on, you would want to put them in a group chat with Tony, right? So same thing. You want to have that personal connection with that individual to show them that you have that other person there for support, that other connection, okay? So that's the first part. Your first call with them, guys, hop on the first launch call within your first 24 hours. So you're going to send them the welcome guide. You're going to send them the checklist, and you're going to have them go through phase 1 of imluniverse.com. I'm going to break that down below. But the first launch call, okay, is your first 24 hours. They must go through the checklist first. I cannot work with anybody. You guys cannot work with anybody until they know how to follow instructions. It's not your job to show them the back office. I know I've done that before, guys. I've been guilty of it, but I'm going off of what Chairman 500 has told me to do. The biggest thing about this is being humble. Humble yourself, have coachability, and listen to people that have what you want. So they must go through the checklist first. Your job on this first call is to explain what we are going to do in the form of a checklist. Basically, you're going to go over their first 30 days on this first call. This will help keep them on track and organized. You're going to introduce them to the services little by little. That's why I said the first call is go over the first 30 days, okay? Introduce services little by little so you don't overwhelm them with information. 1 month at a time so they're not overwhelmed, like I said, and make the most of their experience and their investment. You're going to go over 2 questions on this first call. So basically, you're going to go over the first 30 days, and you're going to go over 2 questions, their why and their goals. And guys, I'm going to show you this really quick. Hold on one sec. Let me move this. I'm going to show you kind of how I do it. I know this is, a little bit more information, and this is how I stay organized. But honestly, guys, let me go in here. These are all my top leaders in here, but all my personals, for example, let me see if I can go through this. So I have this kind of written out to the point where, you know, I know who's who, for example, I know where everyone is, so on and so forth. And I'm able to go in here and I know everybody's why. As you can see, I'm starting to really fill this in, but I have everybody on here and I know exactly who's who, and I know exactly who I can help and how I can help and help them in any way, shape, or form I can. So I know everybody's why. Why are they doing this in the first place? And I establish their first month goals and their long-term personal goals. I do this every single month on a check-in call, and I'll get into that in just a second. Guys, again, I know this is a lot of information, but I'm going through it with you so you guys have an understanding and idea of how to do this, okay? So know their why, because what I do when I'm on a call with them, guys, actually, you know what? I'll get into that in just a second. But establish their first month goals. Most people aren't going to have a goal on what they want to do, okay? Most people don't know what they want. This is their first thing, so you kind of want to get them their goals for themselves. So most of the time, their first month goal is to get their 2 and 3 or hit P150. Most of the time, their first month's goal is to go through basics 1 through 4. That's it, okay? So we establish that. And then you ask them what they want to get out of this, their long-term personal goals. So do this with every month on a check-in call. Something that I wrote in here, you guys, I want you to pay attention to, something you can tell them on the call. This is what Matt talked about. You will experience challenges and setbacks moving forward. Do I have your permission to hold you accountable along the way and remind you of why you got started in the first place? Because when people slack off, when people have setbacks and you notice it and you ask them this question from the get-go, you can go back and ask them, or you can go back and remind them, like, yo, your daughter. Yo, like that's what Chris Derrick always says. Yo, your daughter. Austin Godsey would always go to him like, your daughter, or, you know, you're not retired, or, you know, whatever they would say. You have the ability to do that. And the last thing you promote on this call is promote the weekly calls that we have, just like this one, the Monday Motivation, Tuesday Builders Call, and the Wednesday Traders Call, as well as any events that are in their area, as well as the 7-figure. How many of us, sincerely, honestly, how many of you guys on this call actually hop on the 7-figure mentorship calls every single week? Cool. Perfect. Like those calls are essential. They're free for you guys to be able to hop on those calls. And then the next thing after that call, guys, on that call, actually, what I say is when you're ready to get the training, to get your free services, let's schedule our next call. So give them some time, give them about a week or so to go through what you just went over. Get them, you know, on their demo, get them connected to Swipe Trades, get them in the chats, make sure that they're all, you know, that they're all in there, get them on the basics, and then you schedule your next call with them to get their free services, to get the training, to get on their free services. So really quickly, you should have approximately total of 3 calls your first month, okay, with your new person. The launch call, which is within their first 24 hours, the 4 steps to success, which is what I'll get into in a second. That's within their first week. And then the perfect invite role play. So for all the leaders on here, for everyone on this call, you have to know the invite yourself because you're about to role play with your person. I talked to Matt about this. He said it's a little more footwork, but if I can do it as a Chairman 500, you can do it too. So I'm going to go through the 90-day play-by-play, okay? So the first 24 hours for the customer, this is how it's going to work. They're going to go through imluniverse.com. They're going to choose their broker. They're going to set up an account, and they're going to learn how to navigate their back office. It goes through everything on IML Universe, okay? They have access to, so that they can access all the services and connect to all the apps. One of the things he says, I cannot even get to work with you until you have gone through imluniverse.com phase 1. So that's when you message them, hey, just following up. Basically, you schedule your first launch call with them, which is basically going over this right here, okay? After their first 24 hours, you hop on that launch call, you're going to give them the 30-day game plan, which is this. Guys, we don't want to overwhelm people. This is literally verbatim what Matt Rosa told me. First 30 days, IMO Academy Basics 1 through 4 and technical analysis. And they're on Swipe Trades, Swipe Coin on a demo account. I know Swipe Coin is free right now. I know in the next couple weeks it's not going to be. But I highly, I don't mandate anybody to do anything, but I really, really encourage people to get Swipe Trades because it's a really good product for people to get on their first, when they first get started. Because not only can they start seeing profit, can they start seeing blue, and they can start seeing how to use MetaTrader 4. Even though they might not know how it works right away, they're going to start to get the gist of how things work, okay? So they're on Swipe Trade, Swipe Coin on a demo account. And so one question I had with Matt, I was like, so they go through basics 1 through 4 their entire 30 days? He was like, yeah. And I said, wow, okay, I've never heard it like that. And I said, well, what if somebody comes to you like, yo, I finished basics 1 through 4 my first week or my first 2 weeks. What do you do then? And he said, I get them on IML TV basics educators if they finish early. So if somebody comes to you, and who else was on this call? Let me pick out somebody else's name. So say, somebody comes to you, Christy, right? Say somebody comes to you, Christy, and they're like, hey, I finished basics 1 through 4 and it's like week 2. Say, no problem. Let's get you on IML TV, and you can show them the 2 educators on IML TV, the 2 basics educators. Actually, right now, I know Abu just posted in the chat. I'm pretty sure Chance and Sam, they have their own IML TV session right now. I think it's like Sharpshooter or whatever it is. They do basics fundamentals. I'm pretty positive. Let me see the chat really quick. Yes, perfect. So there's 3 different people now that you can leverage and have your new people hop on if they finish early, okay? Adeze Duncan, Joshua Walls, and Chance and Sam, okay? Cool. Month 2, days 30 through 60. If, say they take the entire 30 days to go through basics 1 through 4, which is fine, okay? Their next month, they would commit to the 3 IML TV educators basic sessions for their first 1 to 2 weeks, rain or shine, no matter what. Now, guys, this is verbatim. This is what Matt Rosa said. Rain or shine, no matter what. Commit to 3 IML TV educators, 2 to 3 IML TV educators, the basics sessions for their first 2 weeks of month 2, no matter what. So consistently. If you miss a live session, it's okay. We have recordings. All right? Now, say they already did this in their first month. Get them to this part. Choose 3 IML TV educators. It can be anyone. It doesn't have to be basics. Like, it could be Chris Derrick. It could be Leon Davies. It could be Stevenson. It could be Lex Waves, whoever, right? Whoever. I usually just watch Chris Derrick, but it could be whoever, because now you want them to start watching, okay? You want them to start watching people and start to figure out which educator they like the most, okay? And guys, the other thing I'm going to say here really quickly, for those of you on this call, okay, you cannot bring somebody somewhere where you have not gone, okay? If you're not active, if you're not subscribed to this on your own, you cannot help somebody. I'm just gonna say that right now. Another thing too, how can you be promoting something that you're not even subscribed to yourself? That's extremely important, okay? Because we have to be able to understand what's going on in the back office. And guys, I'm on there every single day. It's always changing. There's something always happening every single day. So we need to make sure that we're subscribed ourselves, because how can we promote something that we're not even tuned into on our own? So choose 3 IML TV educators that work with your schedule and you enjoy. Watch them on a daily basis, rain or shine. Make sure you're connected to Swipe Trades. This is actually when they make their first initial investment, their first initial deposit. This is only if they're ready. They don't have to if they're not ready, but if they're ready, $100. That's like, you know what I mean? Like $100 investment. Nothing crazy. So they start using Swipe Trades on a live account. And another thing, they start to use the harmonic scanner. And I put on here, watch that guy Jean-Marc on IML TV. One of the things that Matt said that you can maybe mention to your person is the scanner is more powerful than the compensation plan. It's created multiple 7-figure earners and even more 6-figure earners than the comp plan alone, okay? So that's something that you can mention, because guys, I don't know if you guys use a harmonic scanner, but if you watch Jean-Marc and if you study what he does and how to work this thing, the harmonic scanner can really be super, super powerful for you. And even if you just focus on catching a certain amount of pips every single week, guys, it can really help your account in the long term. So first initial investment, you guys can go through this on your own. Swipe Trades on a live account when they're ready. But that's month 2. It's really that simple. Consistently watching IML TV and figuring out the educator that they like the most. Month 3, the last part of their first 90 days, continue watching IML TV and choose, I said 2 to 3 on here. It could be 1 to 2 or 1 to 3 of your favorite educators on IML TV and stick to them like glue. How many of you guys on this call actually watch IML TV on a regular weekly basis? Like, honestly, watch IML TV and plug in. Okay, it's good for you guys to do that, because then you become aware of what's going on and you know how to teach your team what to do in the first place. So cultivating, this is where you're really going to start cultivating your trading plan and your strategy. Okay, you're on Swipe Trades or Swipe Coin on a live account, and this is when you make your first withdrawal. This is your belief check. Okay, Matt even said it. I don't care if it's $20. I don't care if it's $50, $500. This is their belief check. Withdraw that money. Okay, so that's what happens within their first 90 days. 90 days and beyond is something else that we can talk about. At that point, they'll have their 2 and free. The other thing I didn't mention in here, month 1 is when they get their 2 and free, or they hit platinum 150. Okay, after 90 days, okay, this is really where you start to really strengthen your trading plan and your strategy. You really start to understand what you're doing. Honestly, guys, I still leverage Christopher Derrick. Christopher Derrick is an absolute animal when it comes to the charts. I know that I'm not in the position where I'm better than anybody. I know I'm not better than Chris Terry, so I still use his daily swing trades and review his techniques when he's looking at, when it comes to Bitcoin, when it comes to what he's watching with Euro USD, because that's one of the pairs that he really focuses on, right? I leverage that and I show the team, I show you guys what's going on and on the back office, because that's something that helps me when it comes to perspective. Okay, sometimes I just hop on other educators just to see their perspective. I have my trading style down, but I watch other IML TV educators because it's all about perspective. I hang around, I associate myself with other successful individuals, okay? Jason Brown, Austin Ghazi, things like that. Some people may build in a different way than I do, but I still associate myself with their perspective on how they see this. Does that make sense? So guys, it's really, really important that you're plugging in on a regular basis, because you have to not only know this for yourself, but you have to know how to teach. Because when you know how to teach, that becomes duplicatable. And duplication leads to momentum, and momentum leads to what? Residual income. Who on this call wants residual income? Who on this call has had a taste of residual income, right? It's contagious. The most elites, the celebrities, the most famous artists, rappers on the face of the planet understand what residual income is, okay? They understand residual income. They would walk through a freaking brick wall to get it. Right? So those are month 1, 2, and 3, their first 90 days. I'm going to quickly go through this as well. There is something to look forward to every single month, as you guys saw. When the value exceeds the price, they are going to continue to use this. I'm not just giving you guys the tools, but also the instructions. It's your job to follow those instructions. The one thing that Matt talks about when he was with me, we had our meetup, he said, Abby, it's not my job. I said this beginning of the call. It's not my job to make sure that you're successful. It's my responsibility to ensure you have the right instructions, the right tools, the right information. It's up to you for you to use them. Guys, if we say over and over again, okay, to do something, I'm just the messenger, guys. I'm listening to Jason and Matt and all these other top guys over and over and over again. So when you hear me on these calls, this is not only what I'm here, this is not only my own experience, but it's majority what I'm hearing from them, okay? So take it with a grain of salt. Be coachable, be teachable, humble yourself. We don't have all the answers. I do not have all the answers. I'm just the messenger. I'm just here to help and guide you guys in the best way that I know how. And I'm able and fortunate enough and grateful to be able to connect with individuals of such high, what do you want to call it? High, not only income, but just like their mindsets. They know what they're doing. So this next part on here, guys, is the second call to give them. This is the second call of the month, their first month. The second call is to give them the training to get their free services, okay? And Matt calls it the 4 steps to success, month 1. So I'm going to read this to you guys. You guys can have this. Everything that's in quotations is something that you would say on the call with them, okay? So on the call, before you're ready to get your 2 and free, there is a process that we need to go through, and I want to teach it to you. So before we burn any bridges, before we speak to anyone, let me know first. So have them communicate with you, okay? How many of you guys have talked to people before and you've burned your warm market, right? You've talked to too many people and you just vomit information on them, right? We've all been there. I've been there, guys. Trust me, okay? We don't want that to happen because it doesn't have to happen like that. So when you've reached out to them, okay, and they haven't messaged you back, so after your first launch call and you told them on the call like, hey, let me know when you're ready to get the training to get your free services, then we can schedule a call. If they don't message you after a week, follow up with them, okay? Say, hey, just following up. Let me know when you want to get the training on how to get your 2 and free or how to get your free services, right? So schedule a call and get them on the phone. And I asked Matt, I know this was kind of a detailed question, but I asked Matt, like, hey, do you get on a phone call or a Zoom call? It really doesn't matter, guys. I like Zoom calls because then I can see the person. It's more of a connection, but whatever works, okay? So on the call, you'll say, you know, right now it's all about the tools. It's not about you. Your job is not to explain this. I have tools for you to use. So anybody on this call that's not already using the tools, please use the tools. That's the last time I'm going to say it. This is not me saying it. This is the top income earners in the entire company saying this, okay? I have tools for you to use. If I asked you to break down IML to me, you would not be able to, okay? So we leverage tools to do that for us. Basically give them the 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time calls, which is basically the corporate calls that we have every single day of the week. I honestly also leverage Chris Derek's calls that he has Sunday, Monday, Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also the recording, Matt uses the howtostarttrading.com recording. Honestly, guys, I love David Imanitie's call. I personally love his call, but Matt preaches howtostarttrading.com for the recording. And he honestly, I'll send you guys if you want to do a personal call with me, and we can go into a little bit more detail. But Matt talks about how, you know, he basically, when he follows up with a prospect, for example, he tells them to only watch the first video, because I know there's 2 videos. David Imanitie does the IBO part, but it's funny because they will be curious and actually start to watch the second video. So anyways, I'll get into that at a different time. But he says you're going to provide these tools into the hands of the people that you want as your 2 and 3. But before that, I need you to watch the perfect invite. So guys, I'm going to get into something a little different. The perfect invite. How many of you guys have actually took the time to watch that video? I hope everybody does. If you don't have the video, it's on YouTube and it's also in IML Elite. I have a video that's about 13 minutes long of him practicing the invite. It's something that everybody on this call needs to understand. And this is the first part that I'm going to get into. If you're, you know, as a new customer, this is something that you're going to prioritize. Let me get through this and I'll explain the details, okay? So once you do that, I need you to watch the perfect invite. Call will end, okay? Call will end. The third call, okay? You're going to follow up with that person who got started, okay? You're going to say, you're going to follow up with them in 24 hours after they've had enough time to watch that video and say, hey, did you understand it? How was it? Blah, blah, blah. And then you're going to schedule a call to role play with them. You guys are literally going to role play with them, okay? I made it a goal that every single week I'm gonna do the 4 steps to success, and I'm gonna do the role play call with 5 new people. Okay, that's my personal goal. Again, Matt said, you know, it's a little more footwork, but if a Chairman 500 can do it, and he's Chairman 500 for a reason, we can do it too. Okay, let them know what they did right and wrong, practice it again, and once they feel confident, have them start using the tools and inviting people. So before they start talking to people, before they go out and start giving information, they need to understand the perfect invite, and you guys have to go through a role play with them on a call. Once they have exposures, okay, guys, this is important. Once they have started inviting people and they have people jumping on the live calls, the recordings, they've gotten exposures, have them put you in a group chat and schedule a 3-way call from there. Does that make sense? Put them in a group chat with you and have them and you guys can schedule a 3-way call from there. Okay, 3-way calls. How many of us are leveraging 3-way calls? 3-way calls. I was at an event on Saturday with Jason Brown and his personal mentor. He talked about a couple things, actually a lot of things, but the 2 things I'll say: edification. Edification will get you to a 6, 7, 8-figure business, period. If you do not know how to edify and you're not edifying at all, you will stay plateaued. You will stay stuck at the same wherever position that you're at. Learn, understand how to edify, and also be leveraging the shit out of the person that brought you on, okay? Leverage me, for example, with 3-way calls. Get me on as many 3-way calls as you possibly can. I'm here for you guys, okay? And if the person that brought you on isn't available, you know you can ask me, okay? And if I'm not available, I'll tell you. I usually respond to you pretty quickly. And if I don't, call me out. But if I cannot do it, I will find somebody else to do it for you, or we will schedule to make it work. So the last the last call of month 1, okay? Basically what we're going to do on the call, obviously we're going to review their why. We're going to ensure that they know their goals, going back from the first call, short and long-term goals, basically IMO Academy Basics 1 through 4, and making sure that they have their 2 and 3 and Plat 150. Awesome. Make a list. So this is, guys, this is where you make a list of, Matt talked about, he was like, I make a list of 5 people that you like, trust, and care about. And then they know the invite. So these are the 4 steps to success, guys. They know their why, they know their goals, they make a list. Matt started off with 5 people, and every time you cross a name off, you add somebody else to that list, okay? And then you know the invite. You know the perfect invite, all right? And then you role play with them on the call. So guys, if you don't know the perfect invite, watch the video. I'll post the video in the chat after this call so that you can go through it. But it's something that we need to know. Now, I'm going to say this last thing. If that person, you know, there's actually a guy out here, and I thought that he was just going to want to actually trade. He came to me the other day. He was like, yeah, Abby, I definitely want to trade. But honestly, I have a heart for helping other people, and I really want to build this thing. So it's funny because the people that you think are going to crush it, or you think that are not going to do anything, actually end up killing the business. So if they want to build, guys, have them watch not only the perfect invite and role play with them, but also within the next couple weeks, have them go through the exposure pipeline video that Christian Jukes did for our team. If you don't have that video, all of these videos are on my channel on YouTube, okay? If you can't find it, just message me, but I will send it to you, okay? Matt talked about, last quote on here, work once so it can be duplicated twice. That's literally what we're doing. So guys, imagine if you go through this with all of your personals, and all of your personals do the exact same thing with their personals. You're doing it once so it can be duplicated twice. Now the person that you brought on, they're already being pre-trained. They know exactly how you brought them on, so guess what? They're going to do the exact same thing that you're doing. So if you bring somebody on and they see that you're doing the presentation, they see that you're doing all this work, they're, 1, going to get intimidated, and number 2, they're not going to do it, okay? And they're going to do it wrong. So we have to use the tools. We have to set the standard. We have to set the expectations right off the bat from the beginning, okay? So that's why I've created this. I know this was a lot of information, but if you get an accountability partner, or you message me, or whoever, if you're in Arizona, come meet up with me. Tiffany is literally here with me right now, okay? We're doing a meetup. We're grinding right now. If you guys want to practice doing this with me, let's go. Let's do it. I'm more than happy to do that. If you guys want to practice doing a role play call with me, let's do it. I'm happy to do that, okay? Do not hesitate to reach out to me. I'm here to help you guys. It's about you guys now. I know how to do this. I'm here to help you guys have success with this. It's up to you to create that success for yourself. But I hope that this makes sense. This is the official customer launch. When it comes to building, that's a completely separate animal. We'll get into that at a different time if you want to build. But I hope that this makes sense. And then the last thing I'll say, you know, month 1, you're going to have about 3 calls with your personals, okay? Like I said, the first call is the launch call. The first 24 hours, basically going through this part right here. The second call is the 4 steps to success. Basically this right here, where you talk about having the right tools in hand. And number 3 is the role play, going through how to invite somebody. And then every month after that, the check-in call, month 2, it's about 1, maybe 2 calls that month. If they're just a customer, it's probably 1 or 2 calls just as a check-in. And that's basically going over their why, reminding them of their why, and going over their goals. You know, maybe we need to amplify, maybe we need to revamp. So doing that with month 1 and 2. Other than that, guys, this call is about to end. There's less than a minute. I appreciate all of you guys for hanging on. The chat is going wild. There's about 18 people that stuck around consistently on this call. I appreciate all of you guys. Message me anytime. I love you guys. Other than that, I hope you guys have a phenomenal rest of your evening. Tomorrow's Traders Call is going to be amazing. Make sure you guys plug people in. Bring a friend. Don't hesitate. Other than that, let's grind. Let's catch these pips. Let's help people. And I'll talk to you guys later.